Most men quit discipline before it ever becomes part of who they are. Not because they are lazy, not because they don't want to change. They quit because nobody told them the truth about what discipline actually feels like in the beginning. And so when it hurts, when it feels like suffering, they assume something is wrong with them. They assume they weren't built for it, so they stop, and they go back to comfort, and the cycle repeats. This video is going to change that. We are going to go over exactly why discipline feels like punishment at first, and what happens on the other side of that pain if you refuse to quit.
But before we get into it, I need you to understand something. You have been sold a lie. You have been shown highlight reels of men waking up at 4 in the morning, cold plunging, training, building empires. And it all looks clean. It looks effortless. What they don't show you is the weeks, sometimes months, where those same men felt like they were being punished every single day just for trying to be better. That part gets edited out. And because it gets edited out, you think something is wrong with you when you feel it. Nothing is wrong with you. You are just in the part of the story that nobody films.
Number 1. Your brain is literally fighting you. When you first try to install discipline into your life, your brain registers it as a threat. This is not motivation talk. This is biology. Your brain has spent years building neural pathways around comfort, ease, and instant reward. Every time you chose the couch over the gym, every time you scrolled instead of worked, your brain reinforced those pathways. They became highways. And now you're trying to build a new road through dense forest. That takes force. It takes repetition. And in the early stages, it feels unnatural because it is unnatural. For now, the discomfort you feel when you try to be disciplined is your brain resisting the rewiring. It is not a sign you are failing. It is a sign the rewiring has begun. Most men feel that resistance and interpret it as a stop sign. The men who become dangerous interpret it as a green light.
Number 2. You are grieving your old self. This one is rarely talked about. When you decide to become a disciplined man, you are not just adding new habits. You are killing an old version of yourself. And even if that version was weak, even if that version was going nowhere, part of you is attached to it. It is familiar. It is comfortable. And leaving it behind creates a kind of grief that most men never name. You might feel irritable for no reason. You might feel a strange emptiness even when you're doing everything right. You might feel like discipline is taking more from you than it's giving. That is grief. That is the old self dying. And just like any death, it takes time. You don't rush through grief, you move through it. Keep going. And that emptiness will be replaced with something most men never find. A deep, quiet sense of self-respect that doesn't need anyone to validate it.
Number 3. Results lag behind effort. This is where most men crack. You wake up early, you train, you cut the distractions, you do everything right, and then you look in the mirror. Nothing has changed. You check your bank account. Same numbers. You look at your life. Looks identical to 3 weeks ago. And the thought creeps in. What is the point? Listen, there is a gap between the work you put in and the results you see. That gap is where most men quit. It exists in fitness. It exists in business. It exists in every area of life worth building. The results are coming. They are accumulating beneath the surface like pressure building underground. The men who hold the line through that invisible period are the ones who eventually see their entire life rupture upward. The men who quit during the lag will never know how close they were.
Number 4. Discipline exposes everything you've been avoiding. Here's what nobody tells you. The moment you remove distraction and install discipline, everything you have been running from rises to the surface. The unresolved pain, the fear you never dealt with, the shame you buried under hours of scrolling and entertainment. Suddenly, it is all there, sitting in front of you. Because you finally went quiet enough to hear it. Most men, when this happens, run straight back to their old life. They mistake the clarity for a breakdown. It is not a breakdown. It is a reckoning. This is actually one of the most important stages of becoming a strong man. The pain is not new. It was always there. Discipline just stopped letting you hide from it. Face it, work through it. Because a man who has looked his own darkness in the eye and kept building is one of the most dangerous things on this earth.
Number 5. You don't yet have proof that you can trust yourself. One of the quiet reasons discipline feels like punishment early on is that you don't yet have evidence that you are the kind of man who follows through. Every time you broke a promise to yourself in the past, every time you quit something, every time you said you would change and didn't, your brain recorded it. It built a case against you. And now when you try to be disciplined, your own mind is whispering that you won't last, that you never do. The only way to destroy that voice is through action. Not through thinking your way out of it, not through motivation, through showing up anyway, even when you don't believe in yourself yet. Every single day you follow through, you are depositing into a trust account with yourself, and eventually the balance gets high enough that the doubt can no longer compete with the evidence. You become a man who keeps his word to himself, and that changes everything.
Number 6, the transition. There is a moment, and you will know it when it comes, where discipline stops feeling like punishment. It does not announce itself. It is not dramatic. One day you just notice that the thing that used to feel like suffering now feels like order, like structure, like who you are. The 5 a.m. alarm stops feeling violent. The training stops feeling like torture. The hard work stops feeling like sacrifice. It becomes your standard, and anything below it starts to feel wrong. That is when discipline becomes identity. And once it becomes identity, it is nearly impossible to take from you. You don't have to fight for it anymore. You just live it. But you will never reach that transition if you quit during the punishment phase. Every man who has ever achieved that transformation had to walk through exactly what you are walking through right now. The difference between them and the men who stayed weak is simple. They refuse to interpret the pain as a reason to stop. So the next time discipline feels like punishment, remember this. It is supposed to feel like that, not forever, but for now. Because you are doing something most men are too soft to attempt. You are rewiring your mind, grieving your old self, closing the gap between who you were and who you are becoming. That is not punishment. That is transformation. And on the other side of it is a version of you that wants endless authority. By the way, if you are pursuing your dreams and ambitions and wants to gain endless authority towards yourself, you can hit the subscribe button and join our community.